Hello, my name is Gina and today's practice is designed around the theme of Saucha. So Saucha means purification or cleansing. So we are going to be doing lots of twists and some breath that will help remove any negativity or toxins from the body and the mind. So you won't need anything to practice this from home. All you'll need is a mat. If you don't have a mat, just find a nice soft area or perhaps use a towel or a blanket. The other option is to use a block. Now if you don't have a block, feel free to grab a couple of cushions or even maybe a rolled up towel or a blanket to help you with your practice. If not, grab some water and we'll get started. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start seated today. So coming to an easy cross-legged. Now if this is uncomfortable for you, please grab a pillow or maybe even a rolled up blanket or a towel just to prop it underneath your hips and just give yourself a little bit of height, and that just takes the pressure off. Okay, if that's really uncomfortable, don't cross the legs, bring the legs out wide, out in front, whatever's comfortable for you. But you just want to make sure that the spine is nice and long. Pull the belly button back towards the spine so that you're lifted, you're sitting up tall. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and bring the hands heavy down to the knees. And just sit here. Close down the eyes and just start to notice how you feel. Just noticing what thoughts may be running through the mind. And start to release anything that's not serving you. Just focusing on the breath. The inhales through the nose and the exhales through the nose. As you exhale, you soften and release any tension. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Now this time we want you to inhale through the nose and do a cleansing exhale out the mouth. Do one more like that. Inhale through the nose and out the mouth. Just sit here for a little longer with your eyes closed and bring your hands to prayer. Now set an intention for this practice, or maybe the day. It could be something simple, or it could be something more complex. Breathe in that intention and hold it throughout your practice. We're going to inhale, we bring the hands up towards the ceiling. Fill the lungs, and as you exhale, we bring the hands back down to prayer. Again, inhale up. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer. Now this time as we exhale, I want you to om to yourself. So inhale, bring the hands high. And exhale, om to yourself. Again, inhale, bring the hands high. This time as we exhale, we're going to bring our right hand down towards our side and reach the left fingertips up and over. Stretching out the left side of the body. Now you can bring your hand down as low as you like onto your forearm, or if you prefer, just up on the fingertips. Inhale, we bring the hands up again. And exhale, bring the left hand down, this time reaching all the way over. Stretching out the right side. Taking your option. Now we're going to flow between both sides. So inhale, we bring the hands up. Exhale, we bring the right hand down and reach over. Inhale, up. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, center. Exhale, stretch. Inhale. And exhale. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, center, and exhale, stretch. Now inhale, bring the hands both up towards the ceiling. This time as we exhale, we're going to bring the left hand down to the right knee and bring that right hand back behind you. Just do a little twist. Get that spine long. And as you exhale, just soften into that twist. Inhale, bring the hands back up towards the ceiling again. And as you exhale, we're going to swap sides. So right hand to left knee, left hand back behind you. Keep that spine nice and long. And twist, looking over that left shoulder if you can. And inhale, we're going to bring the hands up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands down towards the knee. So we're going to do a few rounds of seated cat-cow here. Option is, if you like to take it deeper, bring the hands towards the ankles. We're going to inhale, we're going to lift the chest and open the throat. And as we exhale, we're going to round the back of the spine, bring the chin down towards the chest, to our cat. So inhale, we open. Fill the lungs, and then exhale, round all the way back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curve back. Now, if you like, you can start to speed up. So inhale, come forward. Exhale, round back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. Now, if that doesn't feel right, just slow it down. Just go at your own pace. One more. And then come up. Bring the spine to neutral. Now, little cleansing breath here. So we're going to bring the hands out to a T, and I want you to bring your palms to the top of your shoulders. Now keep those elbows in line with the armpits and sit up tall. Little twist here. Now if you get a little dizzy, look straight ahead. If not, we're going to inhale through the nose and twist towards the right. And as we exhale, we twist towards the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, if you want, you can start to go a little faster. But just go at your own pace. If that feels okay? If not, just slow it down. Couple more. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Bring your hands down to the knees and just close the eyes for a minute. Now we're going to bring the hands to prayer. We're going to rub the hands up and down. So we're going to generate some heat here. So heat is really important for detoxing. So adding fire to the body allows things to speed up and then be expelled from the body. So keep rubbing the hands. And then bring the hands to stillness, bring the hands to prayer. Just close the eyes one more time. Feeling the activation in the fingers, feeling the heat. And come back to that intention that we set a few moments ago. Now starting our practice, we're going to start on all fours. So come into tabletop. And make sure that the hips are directly over the knees and the hands are under the shoulders. Long spine. A few more rounds of cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, drop the belly, look up. Then as we exhale, we're going to round the back of the spine, look down towards your belly button. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. And then exhale, round. One more. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, we round. And then bring the spine back to neutral. Now, from a neutral spine, I want you to tuck your back toes under. And then we're going to start to lift the sit bones up towards the ceiling into our down dog. So keep that spine nice and long. So this may be you today with the knees bent, but the spine nice and long. Or if you're feeling like you can start to lengthen out the back of the legs, start to bring the heels down towards the mat. Now feel free to pedal out the feet here. You may want to bend and straighten the legs. Just taking any movement that you prefer just to warm up. And then we're going to bring the feet steady and come to stillness. Turn your attention back to your breath. Inhaling through the nose and out the nose. Inhale through the nose and exhale out the nose, again releasing anything that's not serving you, maybe going a little bit deeper in your down dog. A couple more breaths here. Try and pull the navel back towards the spine and just make sure that your palms are grounded down towards the mat. Roll the shoulders away from the ears and broaden across the shoulders. One more breath, inhale through the nose and exhale out the nose. Now we're going to walk the hands back just slightly, about one hand's length, back towards yourself. Keep that down dog position. With the left hand, we're going to bring it towards our right ankle and we're going to look up underneath our right armpit. Take a breath. Now bring the left hand back to the mat, swapping sides. So right hand now comes towards the left ankle and look underneath that left armpit. And then coming back to neutral. And we're going to drop the knees down towards the mat. We're going to bring the sit bones back to the heels, so flatten the tops of the feet onto the mat and rest in your child's pose. Now if you like, you can extend the hands out in front of you to give a little stretch in the shoulders, or if you can prefer, you can stack the hands and rest your forehead down on your hands. Taking one more breath here. And then if your hands are stacked, walk them back out in front of you. And we're going to extend the hands, lift the hips. Now tuck the back toes and lift the sit bones back to your down dog, again just for a breath. And then we're going to slowly walk the feet to the top of the mat. If you can, stay on your tippy toes, but slight bend in the knees. Walk the hands all the way up and then hang in your forward fold, feet slightly apart, and grab the elbows and just gently rock from side to side. Just releasing any tension from the head. Do a few yeses and nos. Rocking from side to side, maybe up and down. Now letting go of the elbows, we're going to bring our hands to fists and bring them towards the back of the legs, and we're just going to do a little bit of a massage at the back of the legs, so some pounding motion just to help release any tension there. And then release, drop the hands down towards the mat, bend in the knees, and we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. The head is the last thing to come up. Now from the top of the mat, stand nice and tall, shoot the fingertips down towards the mat, and just check to make sure that your spine is neutral and the tailbone is shooting down towards the heels. Not too far forward, but also take the sway out of the lower back. So lift and then pull the navel back towards the spine so that you're nice and engaged. Now keep that engagement through the rest of the practice. So fingers are down towards the mat, sit up nice and tall, that chin is slightly lifted. Close the eyes and take a breath. Now, I want you to take a step back with either the left or the right, depending on where you are sitting up at home, because you don't want to be turning to face the wall. You want to keep looking towards the camera. So the feet are wide, and so bring the hands out. So the feet need to be as wide as the wrists. So if you were to have a rope hanging down from your wrists, they should touch the ankle. Okay, so bring the hands down. Now I want you to bring the heels in here so that the toes are pointing out. Now we're going to bend down, and as we do, we want to keep the knees tracking over the middle toe. So not bringing them forward, and then keep that position that we had with the spine before. So tailbone down, navel pulled back. So we're going to inhale and we grab the energy from the ground, and exhale, we stretch the hands up to 5-pointed star. Inhale, we bend the knees, grab the energy, pull it up through the body, and exhale, extend. Do 2 more like this. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten up. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, extend, really expand the lungs. Now we're going to inhale, we bend down again. Now we're going to bring the hands to the knees and just again check, make sure those knees aren't coming forward. So the hands are going to be on the knees, spine up nice and long. Inhale. Now as we exhale, we're going to bring this left shoulder forward and look over our right shoulder, so a little twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, we're going to swap, so right shoulder comes forward. Look over the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. 1 more each side. Left shoulder forward. Look over the right. Inhale, center. And exhale. Now inhale, center. We're going to stay here. Knees are bent. You're feeling the burn now. Bring the hands up towards the ceiling. Take 3 more breaths. 1. In and out the nose. 2. Maybe you want to go a little deeper. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale fully. And now inhale, we straighten the legs. Bring the hands down. Now point the toes towards the side of the mat. And as we exhale, we're going to fold all the way down. Now we're going to clasp the hands behind our back. Roll the shoulders and then allow the fist to fall over the head. If you like, you may want to go a little wider and bring yourself a little lower. Keeping a bend in the knees if you need. Take 3 more breaths here. 1, 2. Last breath, staying with it. Now on your inhale, I want you to come up halfway. Keep the fists clasped. Then as we exhale, we bring the hands to the hips. And then inhale, we rise up through a flat back. And then if you like, you can jump the feet together or step them all the way together. And breathe. Well done. From here, turn and step to the top of the mat. Now again, get that neutral position and take a step back with the right foot. Now the heel's going to come in and that back foot's going to be on the 45. So take a look back and just check that that's on the 45 degree. Now the front leg, the toes are going to point towards the top of the mat and bend the knee. Now with the hips, this is the important part. Turn the hips to face the top of the mat. Now if that's really tight and really difficult for you, step the back foot out slightly wider. Keep the 45, but turn the hips. If not, find your position, getting square. We're going to bring the hands to prayer. We're going to inhale, we bring the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we bring the hands down to prayer. Now when we inhale, we're going to straighten that front leg, but don't lock it. Just straighten it, slight bend in the knee. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge forward. So keep the hips square and bring the chest down towards the legs. Now as we inhale, we're going to bend this front leg, bring the hands over the head and rise up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to prayer. I'm going to move through this a few times so you'll start to get the hang of it. So inhale, we straighten the front leg. Exhale, we hinge forward. Bend the front knee, bring the hands over the head. Inhale, we rise up to warrior one. And exhale, bring the hands to prayer. 3 more rounds. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, hinge forward. So press the feet into the mat, supporting yourself as you lower. Inhale, we bend the knee, bring the hands over the head, rise up. And exhale to prayer, moving with the breath now. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knee, rise up. And exhale, hands to prayer. One more. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring the hands over the head, rise up. Now exhale, bring the hands down to prayer. I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths, really trying to square those hips to the top of the mat. 1, 2, 3. Now as we inhale, we're going to straighten this front leg again. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge forward like we did before. We're going to bring our hands down to the mat. So now this is where you may want to use your block or your pillow. You can bring your hand down and place it on the block or on the pillow. One hand on either side for now. Just stretching the back of the legs and just square the hips, making sure they haven't started to twist. Take a breath. Now we're going to bring this left hand and we're going to bring it back and place it on our sacrum. Squaring the hips. Now this may be enough for you, or if you want to take it a little further, we're going to come into a twist. So we're going to start to twist and lift the heart space open. The hips are staying square. So lift the chest first. If you want, you can gaze up towards the ceiling, and when that feels secure, you can bring the hand up towards the ceiling. Again, if you're using the block, keep the right hand on the block and you can bring the left hand up. Option is to look down or just keep the hand on the sacrum. Take a breath. And then we're going to bring the left hand down to the mat. Now if you're using the block, I want you to pick the block up with your right hand and extend it off the mat. Ground your palm. Bring this left hand back to the sacrum, and we're going to bring our weight over our left leg and bring the right leg off the mat. So preparing for our revolved half moon. So this is our warrior 3 for now. So you want to try and focus on pulling the belly button back to the spine, slight bend in the supporting leg, and then try and press the heel towards the back of the room. Now if you want to take it to the half moon, again we're going to do the twist. We start to lift the heart space and then bring the left hand up. Breathe. And then bring that left hand down to the mat. If you're using the block, move it away and bring the right hand down, right foot down, and hang in your forward fold. And then bend the knees, and we're going to slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, coming all the way to standing. Take a breath here. And we're going to go on the left. So we're going to step back on the left foot this time. Again, back foot 45. So get that foot on the angle first. Make sure that those toes are pointing towards, and you don't want that knee to come over the ankle. Just check to make sure that it's a nice long line from the ankle to the knee. Now turn those hips and bring the hands to prayer. Inhale, we bring the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to prayer. Again, inhale, we straighten the front leg. As we exhale, we hinge forward, so press the feet into the mat. Now bend the front leg, bring the hands over the head. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, fold. Again, try not to lock this knee. Inhale, bend the knee, bring the hands over the head, rise up. And exhale, hands to prayer. 3 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale, fold, square the hips. Inhale, rise up to warrior 1. And exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, fold nice and slow. Inhale, rise up to warrior one. And exhale, hands to prayer, one more round. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer and stay here for 3 breaths. Square those hips, bend in that front leg. 1, 2, 3. Now inhale, we're going to straighten that front leg. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge forward and bring our hands down to frame the foot, using that block if we need. So checking that those hips are square, just take a breath. Now we're going to bring the right hand to the sacrum. And if you feel like you can, we're going to start to twist. So open the heart towards the side and then bring the hand up. So nothing moves except the chest. The hips stay square and reach up. Feel free to have a bend in that front leg if that's really tight. One more breath. And then bring the hand down, frame the foot. Now, again, if you're using the block with the left hand extended off, or if you're not using the block, extend your left hand out. Now we're going to bring the weight over the top of the right leg and lift the left leg off the mat. So balancing here, and we're going to bring the right hand to the sacrum. This may be you. Or if you want to start to go to the twist, open the heart and then bring the hand up towards the ceiling. Keeping this left leg lifted, flexing the back foot, pulling the navel back to the spine, focus. And then bring that hand down, bring the left foot down and hang in your forward fold. If you want, pedal out the knees a little bit. And then bend both knees and roll all the way up to the top of your mat, all the way to standing, nice and tall. Close the eyes, take a breath, come back to that intention. Okay. From here, we're going to start to come down to the mat now. So inhale, we bring the hands high. Exhale, we hinge and fold. Now inhale, we come to a half lift, so bring the hands to the shins or the thighs. Exhale, we fold. Now plant the hands and we're going to step to the back of the mat, right, then left. Hold the plank. One breath, inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, we're going to drop the knees down to the mat, and as we exhale, we're going to lower the chest and chin all the way down to the mat. Now you may want to wriggle back a little bit just to find the center of your mat and bring the hands so the thumbs are in line with the nipples. Elbows are pointing down towards the heels. Now the important bit here is that we're going to turn the tailbone so that's grounded down to the mat. This is going to protect the lower back. The tops of the feet are nice and glued and the big toes are touching. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to inhale, we lift the chest to baby cobra. Exhale, we roll down. Inhale, we lift. This time we're going to turn and look over our right shoulder. Turn the head back to center. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Turn and look over our left shoulder. Back to center. Exhale, lower. One more each side. Inhale, lift. Turn and look over our right shoulder. Center. Lower on the exhale. Inhale. Left shoulder. Center. Exhale, lower. Now one more through the center. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower all the way down. Turn your head and look to either side. Allow the hands to come down by your side. And allow the heels to fall out and just rest. Now from here, I want you to slowly pick yourself up. So come back into that tabletop position. And then we're going to bring the hips down towards the mat, and I want you to extend the feet out in front of you. So again, if you like, you can use something underneath your hips just to give yourself a little bit of lift. You may need a bend in the knees, and just keep the spine nice and long. So take your option. We're going to inhale, we're going to bring the hands up towards the ceiling, really lengthen the sides between the hips and the armpits. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forward. So the feet are going to stay flexed. And what we want to do is ensure that when we fold, we keep the spine long. So we're not going to fold like this. All this does is just stretches the upper back. So what we want to do is fold, keep that length, keep that length, keep that length. And when you reach your max, it may be here or maybe all the way here, just bring the hands down, flex the feet and breathe. Depending on where you are, you may want to bring the hands to the feet. Again, keeping that spine nice and long, looking towards the toes. So when we talk about Saucha, we're referring to one of the niyamas of yoga. So it means to cleanse, and that just means, one, what we're putting in our body, so what we're eating and what we're drinking. But it also means what we're putting in our mind, the thoughts that we're carrying, and our soul. What emotions are we holding? So just check in with yourself, choosing positive thoughts, positive emotions. Now if you feel like you've reached your max, I just want you to inhale, come up slightly higher. And then as you exhale, fold deeper. Taking one more breath here. As you inhale, we're going to bring the hands over the head and rise up. Sit up nice and tall, and exhale, we bring the hands down behind, just by our sides. Now we're going to come into a twist now. So with the feet out extended, I'm going to pick up the left foot, I'm going to cross it over the right. Now, you may need to keep this right leg extended, or if you feel like you can go a little deeper, you can bend that foot in and sit up nice and tall. Now left hand's going to come behind us. We're going to inhale, we're going to reach the right hand up towards the ceiling, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Then as we exhale, we're going to twist. So we're going to bring that hand over the knee and use that to leverage ourselves so that we can twist a little deeper. Keep pulling that navel back to the spine and look over this left shoulder. And this twist here is really good for detoxing. Again, imagine it like a washcloth. You're just squeezing it out from the middle. One more breath. I'm going to turn the head to center and uncross. Extend the feet out. A little shake if you need. Swapping sides. So right foot over. Left foot underneath, or keep it extended. Sit up nice and tall. Right hand's going to come behind us, left hand up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to twist as we exhale, using the forearm to leverage ourselves and look over that right shoulder. So after we finish our practice, make sure that you drink some warm or room temperature water just to help flush out any of the impurities. One more breath here, and then turn the head back to center and uncross. Extend the feet out, little shake if we need. And then we're going to walk the feet in slightly closer towards us. Now bring the hands underneath the thighs, and we're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Bringing yourself all the way down to your mat and bring the knees in for a little hug and just a gentle rock from side to side. So I really like to do some circles because I feel that sometimes I can, get a little click or a release in the lower back. Reverse the circles. And then we're going to ground the feet down to the mat. Now we're going to come into our bridge. So we want to try and get the sit bones as close to the heels as possible. So walk them in close and just double check to make sure that your knees and your feet are hip distance apart, not too close together. And then bring the hands down by the sides. And we're going to inhale, we're going to lift the hips, we're going to sweep the hands up and over the head. Now take a small pause at the top of the breath. And then exhale, we lower the hips and the hands down to the mat. Inhale, we lift the hips, sweep the hands up and over. And exhale, we lower. Again, inhale, we're going to lift, press into the heels, reach the hands up and over. Now this time as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands underneath the body, clasp the hands and really roll the shoulders under. So sort of rock from side to side and then press into the heels and lift the hips. We're going to stay here for 4 more breaths. 1, 2, can you lift any higher? 3, last breath. And now as we exhale, you unclasp the hands and we're going to roll the hips down 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. And then bring the knees in for another little hug. And a gentle rock from side to side. Now we're going to extend the knees so that they're directly over the hips and then the shins are going to be parallel to the ceiling. And I want you to bring your hands down to a T and just check to make sure there's nothing on either side of you. You're not going to knock any water bottles or pot plants over. Take an inhale here. Now as we exhale, we're going to drop the knees over towards the right. Now keeping this left shoulder on the mat, and we're going to turn and look towards our left hand. Just a little gentle spinal twist as we start to wind down, coming towards the end of our practice. Just checking in with our thoughts, our breath. Turn the head back to center. Inhale, we bring the knees up. And as we exhale, we're going to drop the knees over to the left this time. Ground that right shoulder and then turn and look towards our right hand. And turn the head back to center. Inhale, we bring the knees up. Give yourself one last hug. And now we're going to come into our Shavasana. So extend the feet out to the edges of your mat. Have your palms facing up. Allow the shoulders to relax and sink down to the mat. The feet are going to fall out. Close down the eyes. And start to scan the body from the top of the head, relaxing as you go down. So relaxing the space between the eyebrows, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, moving down to the arms, feel them sink heavier and heavier down to the ground. Relaxing the hips, the top of the thighs, the calves, and all the way to the feet. Now you can choose to stay here as long as you like. Otherwise, if you're ready, I want you to bring your hands to prayer. Take a moment to thank yourself for your practice. Namaste.